بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسر مكتبة إمام الشوكاني رحمه الله تعالى أن تقدم لكم يا إخوان فائدة عظيمة مباركة للإمام عبد الكريم الخدير رحمه الله تعالى في شأن وفي فضل الإمام شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله تعالى. So it pleases the Maktaba of Imaam Ash-Shawkaanee rahimahullah ta'ala to present to you, ikhwan, a tremendous benefit by the noble Imam Abdul Karim al-Khudair rahimahullah ta'ala with regards to the status or the prestige of the noble Imam Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala.
هذا أيضا سائل يقول السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. فضيلة الشيخ، إني لأحبك وسؤالي هو: ذكرتم في شريط لكم بعنوان الهمة في طلب العلم.
So the questioner, one of the mashayikh or one of the brothers in the company of the shaykh, he's reciting the questions upon the Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Khudair rahimahullah. So he says, "O Shaykh," the questioner, he recites, "Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Indeed, I love you for the sake of Allah." He says, it was mentioned, or you mentioned in one of your audios that had the title, the himma fi talib al-ilm, the desire or the aspiration or the zeal that one possesses with regards to seeking knowledge. You mentioned in this tape,
ذكرتم في شريط لكم بعنوانه الهمة في طلب العلم أن الشيخ.
He said you mentioned in this tape, once again, that had the title, the desire or zeal or aspiration of seeking knowledge, that
شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله ألف الحموية بين الظهر والعصر.
You mentioned that the great Imam Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he composed the tremendous book al-Hamawiyya between Dhuhr and Asr prayer.
وأنا سميت أنها الواسطية، فهل أيضا الحموية ألفها بين الظهر والعصر؟
And I heard that he composed al-Wasitiyya between Dhuhr and Asr. So did he also compose al-Hamawiyya between Dhuhr and Asr also?
ذكر من ترجم لشيخ الإسلام وسيما من تلاميذه كابن عبد الهادي وغيره.
So the Shaykh, he says rahimahullah ta'ala, that it has been mentioned from those who mentioned the biography of Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, especially his students, from them Ibn Abdul Hadi and other than him, that they would mention that they mentioned that the great Imam rahimahullah, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, that he authored and composed al-Hamawiyya between Dhuhr and Asr, between Dhuhr and Asr.
وذكروا أنه كتب الواسطية في ليلة وكتب السياسة الشرعية في ليلة.
And they also mentioned, those who mentioned his biography, that he wrote al-Wasitiyya in one day, and that he wrote the book Siyasat al-Shar'iyya in a day and a night likewise.
وهو رحمه الله أعطي السرعة في الكتابة.
And Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he was given, meaning by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sur'ata fil kitaba, that he was given the ability to compose a book in a swift amount of time. And he was also given sayalani al-dhihn, that he was also given a tremendous understanding, a tremendous mind, a mind that flowed.
فيكتب الكتاب الكبير في وقت يسير.
He says, so thus Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he would compose a large book, a vast compilation, in a small amount of time, in a fast time.
والفتوى الكيلانية كتبها رحمه الله وصاحبها مستنفذ يريدها.
He says, and he wrote the fatawa, the big fatawa al-Kaylaniyya, he wrote it in a swift amount of time, whereas the person who was in need of it, it was prepared for him immediately. It was prepared for him. It was ready. He said once again, it was composed and it was authored, and it was the sahibuha mustawzifun biha, that the person who was in need of it, it was prepared and it was ready for him.
واحد منا إذا أراد تحرير مسألة احتاج إلى وقت طويل.
He said, but one of us, if we were in need of a mas'ala, an issue of al-Islam, then we will be in need of a nice amount of time.
النظر في المصادر.
He said we would have to take a look in the masadir, the books of references.
والمراجع.
Also we have to take a look at the maraji', the sources.
وثم بعد ذلك كتابة المسألة.
Then after that we would have to write the issue down.
تسويدا.
And we would have to write it down in a tasweedan form, in a rough draft or so.
ابتدائيا ثم بعد ذلك ينقحها ويحررها ويبيضها.
Then after that we would have to carefully edit it and revise it and go over it again.
فتحتاج إلى وقت طويل مسألة واحدة.
So the person being when he's doing research regarding one issue, he will be in need of a lot of time.
تحرر في صفحة. مع أن شيخ الإسلام رحمه الله قد أوتي من المحفوظ وأعطي من الفهم.
He says, although Shaykh al-Islam rahimahullah, he was given mahfuzan, he was given a tremendous memory, and he was given a tremendous understanding, meaning from Allah.
ما يعينه على كتابة الصفحات الكثيرة في الوقت اليسير.
And this aided him and assisted him upon composing those large books, those vast books, in a swift and a fast amount of time.
بل كتب المجلدات الكثيرة.
He said rather he wrote many volumes.
رحمه الله.
May Allah have mercy upon him.
السجن.
When he was incarcerated.
وليس عنده مراجع وليس عنده ما يكتب به.
And he said when he was incarcerated he didn't have any references, he didn't have any sources to refer back to, but still he wrote many compilations.
إنما يستغل بعض الأدوات من فحم ونحوه.
He says, but after that when he was incarcerated, he used some of those instruments, some of those utensils, like to write with and the likes.
أقصد أنه في مثل هذه الحالة لو وجد في عصرنا أو وجد في ظرفنا تذرع وتعذر بأنه لا يستطيع أن يفعل شيئا.
He said, but in our time, here in our ظرف, in our asr, in this time of ours, a person, he will make the tadarra' or yata'adhar, he will use as a pretense, he will use the excuse that he doesn't have this and he doesn't have that. So thus he will not be able to do anything.
لعدم وجود الإمكانات وعدم كذا.
He would use as an excuse not having this and not having that.
الإعانة الربانية.
He said, however, with the assistance, إعانة الربانية, with the assistance or the lordship assistance, meaning the assistance of our Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala.
كتب رحمه الله ما يكتبه غيره في عقود كثيرة.
He said, by this, the assistance of the Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala, Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, he wrote that which he wrote, that which in comparison to someone else, he wrote those affairs and another individual would not have the ability to write that in the uqud.
وتجد يكتب الكتاب في اليوم واليومين والثلاثة بما يحتاج إليه في أشهر.
He said, so you find that he wrote a book in one night or 2 nights or 3 nights. He says, and someone else would have taken them months to do that. And it was also mentioned about him, rahimahullah, that he composed some of his books, while he was on a journey. Likewise, one of his students, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, it was mentioned about him that he composed his book Zad al-Ma'ad while he was on a journey. Likewise, the great Imam Al-Hafidh Ibn Hajar, he composed his book in Mustalah Hadith Nukhba while he was on a journey. without having any sources or any references to refer back to.
هذا لأن علومهم حاضرة في أذهانهم.
He says, and this is because the sciences and the knowledge, it was preserved in their minds, it was memorized in their minds and their intellects.
لا يحتاجون إلى مراجع.
And they were not in need to have any sources or references because it was memorized.
فمن رزقه الله جل وعلا الحافظة.
So whoever Allah Ta'ala provides and bestows upon him with a tremendous memory
القوية مع قوة الفهم
and with a strong understanding,
فإنه لا يصعب عليه أن يكتب ما يكتب.
then it would not be difficult upon him to write what he writes.
وإن يسير.
To write a vast book, for example, in a small amount of time.
والله المستعان.
And Allah is the one whose help is sought. No.